Meanwhile, China says it is ready to maintain communication with the leaders of the new Taliban government in Afghanistan, calling its establishment a necessary step in reconstruction. China says it respects the sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity of Afghanistan. US President Joe Biden was asked directly about whether he had concerns about China's relations with the Taliban.
President, are you worried that the Taliban will get funding from China?
Well, China has a real problem with the Taliban, so they're going to try to work out some arrangement with Taliban, I'm sure. As does Pakistan, as does Russia, as does Iran. They're all trying to figure out what do they do now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
And Arise correspondent ROTIMI KADE has been monitoring U.S. reaction to the new Taliban government, and he joins us now from New Jersey. ROTIMI, good to see you. Now, the U.S. government says it's concerned about the new Taliban regime. What are the main concerns?
Well, again, the main concerns basically is, first of all, seeing how remnants of U.S. citizens and allies can be jetted out of the stronghold of the Taliban regime, as it were. And there's been a lot of criticism as far as the home front is concerned that the number of American citizens that were left in Afghanistan may be in danger, and perhaps maybe the Afghan Taliban may want to use that as a bargaining chip for U.S. to get what they want. And that's one. Number two is the stability of Afghanistan is also hacked on the people that are in Afghanistan at the moment. Talking about the human rights and, of course, the economic values of Afghanistan, as it were. But of course, we know that things are turning south for the new regime because at this point, it's most likely looking like they are going to be isolated from the rest of the world. And what the Taliban is trying to do is try to present a moderate front to the international community to see how they can get the much needed support. But on the other hand, with the list that was released by the Taliban regime, it shows that they are most likely going to be isolated because these are the old warlords that are on FBI watch list and Interpol watch list, on terrorist watch list all around the world, which could really cause that friction that U.S. and Taliban are trying to, reestablish.
All right, Rotimi, yet the U.S. has no choice but to keep talking to the Taliban to negotiate the evacuation of the remaining Americans in Afghanistan. Talk to us about this.
Well, the U.S. actually have a choice. I think the U.S. is trying to pressure the Taliban to actually do as much needed, give the U.S. the needed assistance to get those people out as much as possible. I think the administration is trying to be a bit, not, coming from the weaker side of this ordeal, and looking at the way that this has really gone in the past few weeks, it shows that the U.S. may have something, off their sleeves, but we don't know that yet. But the Taliban is also open to negotiating with the U.S. They've said it before that they are not ready to fight with the U.S. They don't want another war. They just want a peaceful transition into a new government. And like it or not, they will need the U.S. support. They will need the humanitarian support. They will need, the economic supports. Already, they are calling all the embassies to come back to Afghanistan to resume work and all of that, because they believe that with that they'll be able to get enough appeal for the new government. However, the U.S. would be using that also to negotiate, that they need to do certain things for them to be on side by side with the rest of the world.
Okay, speaking of what the U.S. has up its sleeves, Rotimi, the U.S. is also concerned at China's warm welcome to the new Taliban regime. In this apparent game of chess, what's the U.S. strategy on that front?
Well, I think, according to the president, I think U.S. is not worried about China's influence on the Afghan Taliban. And for some reasons, they know obviously that they're going in for the economic reasons, not for the well-being or the well-being of Afghans that are remaining in Afghanistan. And we know China for that. China don't go into any country just because they actually want to make the country, better in some ways. But for main reason, which of course is economic reasons, there's been a lot of destruction in the past few months, and they would like to be involved technically in rebuilding Afghanistan, as the U.S. is not interested in investing further into Afghanistan after 2 decades and after $2 trillion, and it comes to naught.
I want to say many thanks to you, Rotimi Michael KADE, our ICE correspondent in New Jersey.